What's up, everybody? Sports Estimators back again with another podcast. Today we will be going over Liga MX Jornada 12, also going over Mexico's U-20 performance in their past two games, and we will also be covering UCL Matchday 2. Tune in for this banger.
All right, let's get started with Liga MX Jornada 12. One quick stat I want to give you before we break down the games.
All right.
Last week, the home teams were 7-2.
Okay.
And there was no ties. So
No ties,
no
okay.
tie last week, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But
It's been flipping.
yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the first game on Friday, Necaxa versus Pachuca.
I got Pachuca to win. Necaxa hasn't beat Pachuca since 2002 or 2022. Sorry. Necaxa hasn't beat Pachuca since 2022, and Ener Valencia gave Pachuca a lifeline. Ever since he joined the team, they've looked a lot better.
Yeah, so you got Pachuca?
Yes, sir.
I'm going with the tie.
Okay.
I think, Necaxa has only lost one game at home all season.
Oh,
and
shit.
They're desperate for a win.
Yeah.
And Pachuca is still kind of a mid-table team to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like Necaxa to get at least a tie against Pachuca.
Nice, okay.
Next game, Mazatlan versus Atlético de San Luis. Who you got in this one?
So for this one, I have a tie as well. Mazatlan has only one win against San Luis all time, and that win is coming from their first meetup in 2020.
Dang.
So I still don't see how Mazatlan would win this. San Luis are so inconsistent. Mazatlan's another very inconsistent team, and these Friday games are always inconsistent, like how we say, or not inconsistent but unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with the tie with this one. Who you got?
I like Mazatlan.
Okay.
It's more of a intuition pick.
Yeah.
I just think they're super desperate for a win.
Okay.
And they're at home. But like you said, Atlético San Luis has dominated this matchup. But Mazatlan's last win was Jornada 2 for this season.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I think they're going to find a way to win just an ugly game at home. But they find a way to pull it off. Especially since I think Mazatlan style could be a problem for Atlético de San Luis.
Yeah. All right, next game. Atlas versus Juarez. Who you got?
I'm going with a tie.
Another tie, okay.
Yeah, I think Atlas is going to have some momentum coming off of their win last week against Necaxa.
Mm-hmm.
Juarez has obviously been the better team, the more consistent team throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
But they play completely different when they play at home versus when they play away. So I think factoring in Atlas is on a bit of a momentum right now. I think they'll find a way to get a draw against Juarez at home.
Okay. So last week was terrible for me, picks wise. So I'm going back to my formula. I'm going back to play it safe. I got Juarez to win. So
by play it safe, do you mean picking the favorites?
I actually don't know who the favorite is on this.
It's Juarez.
It's Juarez? Okay.
Yeah, but they're at plus.
Okay. No, I just think since Coca's arrival, Atlas are 1-4. And Juarez, since August, only has 2 L's. And those 2 L's are coming from Toluca and Cruz Azul. So, obviously, Atlas isn't on the level of Toluca or Cruz Azul. These Friday games are always so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. It could be a tie.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Juarez to get the dub. Hopefully, Juarez doesn't do me dirty. I do want to know, every team that we've dropped the reel on has shit the bed. We talked about Pumas, 2 L's. We talked about Liverpool, 2 L's.
La maldición.
La maldición, for real. Did you notice that?
I noticed that for the Liverpool one. We said if they're unbeatable.
Yeah.
But I think we both meant in Champions League, getting knocked out. Not if we didn't think they're gonna not lose a whole game the whole season. Yeah. But I did notice that for Liverpool. And now that you mentioned it, the Pumas thing, I did notice, or now that you mentioned it, that is funny that ever since we dropped that reel, they've been losing. But
All right.
moving on to Saturday's game. First one, Querétaro versus Puebla.
I got Querétaro to win. This is the Battle of Ass game of the week. Querétaro looked good playing against the top. Played good playing against the top teams. They kind of went through a gauntlet there, having to go through Monterrey, Cruz Azul, Tigres. They held their own against Monterrey, getting a 1-0 dub. Also with Tigres, I believe they only lost 2-0, and then with Cruz Azul, obviously they tied. Puebla is a lot worse. And obviously Querétaro being at home, I'm just taking the home team on this one. Who you got?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. And the result, I got Querétaro winning at home. Puebla I think we've been saying the same thing about Puebla.
Yeah.
They just haven't really shown much of anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like Querétaro at home.
And I want the Ascenso and Descenso to come back because I'm tired of these two teams being like I'm tired of just seeing them. Like they're always bottom of the table. I want to see a new team. Fucking Leones Negros, somebody.
Sinaloa.
Atlante.
Ooh. All right, next game, León versus Toluca.
So, I just want to recap what Toluca just did. Toluca just won the Champions Cup versus Galaxy on Wednesday. Since Toluca probably went out to celebrate, and Alexis Vega is the captain of the Donde está el putero más cercano, I think they probably went out. They were in LA.
Bro's hungover?
He's hungover. Toluca, though, with the comeback, they were losing 2-1 in the 88th minute. They scored in the 88th minute, tied it up 2-2, and then bagged another goal in the 93rd minute to seal the game 3-2 against Galaxy. I got a tie here. I know Nacho Ambriz is coming back as the head coach for León. We'll see how that goes. But for now, for Toluca, being away from home, they were probably out partying, celebrating. I got a tie for this one. Who you got?
I have Toluca. I think you do make a good point about the fatigue, but I just think they're in such good form right now.
Yeah,
and they're just clearly the more talented team. I think they'll find a way to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a tie.
Yeah,
especially because Nacho Ambriz's teams, I feel like they're always competitive.
Yeah, and then one thing I do want to know, I fuck with Alexis Vega of him singing with the trophies. No chela in this video though. No chela, so maybe they are a little locked in. But Dios, no para mí. Have you seen it?
No,
I'm gonna have to show you.
I've seen his other lip singing videos, but I didn't see this recent one.
Nah, it's for like every trophy they've won. Like he's been singing that same Julian Alvarez song with the trophy, yeah, with the crown on.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Bro be feeling himself.
Like right. In the car?
Bro's like looking out the window like
pretending to drive?
Yeah. Hey, but to be fair, I mean, those are like, memorable moments. So he's actually doing shit.
Yeah.
We dream about and shit. So
you
can't really knock him too much for that.
No. Especially because he's the captain of the Donde está el putero más cercano.
Hey, he's been balling though.
He has been.
I feel like ever since he started picking up his form, Toluca's form as a team has elevated as well.
Yep. I want to see what the future holds for Alexis Vega. I hope really good things happen. This is the best version ever that we've seen of him. And just like, he's so relatable. Like, he's so... like somebody you could relate to, like it's like if he was one of the homies, that's just good at soccer, like one of the homies that made it, that you know how he lives his life outside of soccer, like que se va a estar en el desmadre for sure, and that fool don't hide it. That fool doesn't hide it. That fool likes to echar desmadre, so that's what's dope about him. But all right, moving on. What game you got next?
Tigres versus your Cruz Azul.
You go first. I'll let you take it away.
I have a tie for this one.
Okay.
I think both teams... I think this is going to be a close game. I think the fact that Cruz Azul plays with 5 in the back and Tigres plays more of like a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, depending on how you look at it. I think that favors Cruz Azul, and I think they're going to be able to control the game for the most part. But given the fact that Tigres is at home, I like a tie in this one.
Okay. So, Cruz Azul finally got caught slipping. Very controversial game, though. I don't think that red card that they got in the first fucking 10 minutes should have been a red card. Obviously, the player was playing the ball. He didn't mean to crack the player accidentally.
You just said he cracked them.
Bro, he did crack him, though. He did crack him. But this fool was passing the ball and, the player's foot just happened to be there where he was going to put his landing foot.
He coincidentally cracked him?
Yeah. I don't think... And then Cruz Azul appealed it. I don't know if they've won it yet, but I know they did put an appeal on it. Cruz Azul hasn't looked good these past couple games, though. Ever since that Juarez win, we've looked very shaky.
Bro, it's because you guys get a red card every game.
That too, bro. That too. It just... I don't know. But... I say that to say this is a good thing because we're not overhyped anymore. Every time we're overhyped, bad things happen. So I'm okay being where we're at. We were first place for 10 days. We lose one fucking game, and now we're fourth place. The top 5 teams, bro, that shit could switch this weekend. Anybody in the top 5 could be first tomorrow by the end of the week. Maybe fifth. Tigres could. I don't think Tigres. I think Tigres will end up being second or third, depending if they get a dub or not. But we're seeing Liga MX prime right now. This is a very good tournament that I love seeing. With that, though, Tigres has less goal. Like how we said, they have one of the best defenses, if not the best defense. Cruz Azul and Tigres have the same amount of goals scored. I say that to say this is also going to be a draw. It's going to be a tie.
Uh-huh.
And Cruz Azul's not playing at home. We're playing Estadio Universitario. And I think when you're playing Tigres, they're a tough opponent to face.
Yeah, they got one of the best home
atmospheres.
Atmospheres in the league. But moving on to the next game, America versus Santos.
Should I take it away?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
All right, so America's catching their stride just like how Toluca is. They look good, but I feel like there's still some questions within this America team based on if Fidalgo isn't up to par, then I feel like the team kind of crumbles, but you guys barely scratch a win. If he's healthy, if he's on the lineup, the starting lineup, if he subs in, like how we saw, I forgot what game it was where he subbed in and just the momentum changed. I think it was the Monterrey game.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys' lack of depth in the midfield, the lack of depth of not having, what is it, Diego, the guy that left?
Valdez?
Diego Valdez. You guys not having Richard Sanchez there no more is really starting to hurt you guys. But you guys are playing one of the fucking trash-ass teams this week. America to win.
Yeah. I honestly didn't really have that much... I didn't really give this game too much thought. Because I saw... No disrespect to Santos, but I saw they were playing Santos. And I just think right now with the way they're playing, it's going to be... It's very hard for me to see Santos beating America.
Yeah.
I think Santos is a pretty good team. When I was watching them play against Monterrey, they do link up pretty well up top, and they're not one of the worst goal-scoring teams, but it's pretty much just like they're one of the teams that receive the most goals. Yeah. And that's not a good sign when you're playing against America because they could adapt and play different ways. Yeah. Factoring in the fact that America's at home, I definitely like America in this game. Yeah. Over under is 3.5. You Think it'll go over or under?
I think it'll go over. I could see Santos scoring a goal.
Yeah.
And I could see you guys scoring 3 on them.
Yeah, like a cool 3-1.
Yeah.
I could see that. All right, moving on to Sunday's game. This is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a very competitive game.
Yeah.
Pumas versus Chivas.
I'll go first. JJ Macias, another guy that we made a reel on. I think this is his revenge game, though. And I think when he scores, if he scores, he will have a Recho and Seul shirt under his jersey. Like, you know how Jimmy Lozano and then Chino Huerta, when they fucking play, I think it was Jimmy Lozano when he played against Cruz Azul and he scored a goal, he fucking lifted up his shirt and said Recho and Seul. And I think also Chino Huerta when he scored on, I think it was Chivas. He lifted up his shirt and he had the Recho and Seul. So that TikTok is going to do numbers if JJ Macias scores a goal. But I still got Chivas to win, though.
Really?
Yeah, I got Chivas to win.
Okay, that's interesting.
Pumas have looked like shit. Like I don't know what it is. They just have looked like shit. I need to do a deep dive to see what's been going on with Pumas. I should probably go and coach them because
I mean, you can't really count the America game because it's America.
But I thought it was gonna be way closer than that, though. 4-1.
Yeah, I think
like they just fell apart.
Yeah, they kind of did, but I feel like for like the majority of the game, it was obviously like more competitive. But yeah, they kind of did fall apart.
Yeah,
but I actually think they're gonna tie. Pumas actually only has 1 win at home this season, so they don't really have much of a home field advantage, so to say. But I think the fact that they're coming off from a spanking from America is they're gonna be extra motivated to bounce back.
Yeah,
you know. And with Chivas, I still don't know when I watch them what version of Chivas I'm going to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I thought that after the America win, Milito was going to change his ways and kind of like when he plays against teams that are superior to them, he knows that they have to play more defensive.
Yeah.
And I guess for this game, they don't necessarily have to do that because I'd say talent-wise, they're on par with Pumas. Mm-hmm. But I think because of the way Pumas plays, I think it would be in Chivas' best interest to play a little bit more defensive and then try and surprise them on the counter. Mm-hmm. Because I think Pumas has been playing better as far as like being a possession-based team and creating chances.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, if Chivas finds a way to outpossess Pumas, then that's even better. Okay. Right? Because you're taking the ball away from a team that's their strength. Yeah. And Pumas isn't really like a counter-attacking team. Yeah. But I just don't know how effective Chivas is going to be at doing that. So that's why I think it's going to be a tie.
And I also feel like it's hard to prep for Chivas because they've been playing so many youngsters. Like you don't know what version, like how you say, you don't know what you're gonna get from them. They have a system, they have a style of play sometimes, but it's not as consistent. I feel like when you're playing these young guys, they're still trying to figure it out, and they're just sticking to their natural talent and doing what they know rather than playing a system-based offense or defense. That Milito kind of tries to make them play, because you could kind of see that when they have the ball and they're going from defense to offense. But I just feel like you don't. It's hard to prep for them because like how we posted, you don't know what you're gonna get from them.
Yeah, because they don't, like, to your point about swapping personnel. Mm-hmm. They do that a lot. It feels like they don't repeat the same 11. Yeah. So it is kind of hard to be consistent in your style of play or even the level of your play when you're constantly plugging pieces. And they've also been unlucky because I think like when Piojo got hurt, sometimes they're forced to do that. Yeah. But yeah, like that's why I have a tie, because I'm like, I don't know which Chivas it is, but I think we both agreed it's going to be one of the better games this week. Yeah. Moving on, last game of the week, Tijuana versus Monterrey. I think this could be another like more competitive games of the week too. What do you think?
I do too, because I like Tijuana at home. We saw what happened with Cruz Azul. Last week I touched on Tijuana's the second best at-home team. And Monterrey is on the decline, like how Cruz Azul is. So you kind of starting to see things shift within.
You think Monterrey's on the decline?
Yeah, because they've barely been able to like get not only goals. You expect them to win by like 4 maybe every game. They've only won their past couple games by like 1 or 2 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Querétaro, they only beat them 1-0.
Yeah.
I forgot who else they've played where they
only beat Santos last
like
week. But
2 goals, no, or 1 goal.
Yeah,
they beat Santos by 1 goal. Like I just think I don't know. I don't know what Durant is doing over there too. Like I don't know if he's just like how we said last week, just not really prepping, but it's just more of like this is the talent that I have, and I'm gonna stick with my guns, and I'm gonna let them play the way they want to play.
I think they're still kind of, in a way, now I don't want to say finding their identity, but going back to like the Chivas thing, for different reasons, they're figuring out what their best 11 is. Because ever since they signed Martial, it's almost kind of like you have to play him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're still kind of figuring that out, what's going to work best for them. But I do like Monterrey to win this game.
Okay.
Tijuana's still undefeated at home, so I'm a little bit hesitant. I was going back and forth with this one. But since Monterrey lost the first game of the season to Pachuca, they've only given away points to America and Toluca, which those 2 teams are up there as far as talent. So I think Tijuana, even though they're tough at home, I think Monterrey just has a little bit too much for Tijuana to handle.
Okay. One thing I do want to note, though, is an interesting stat. Monterrey hasn't beat Xolos at home since 2022.
Okay.
And one thing I also want to note, I feel like that Martial signing was a little bit forced, and they wanted to compete with America signing Maxi.
That was really random, the Martial one.
That's what I'm saying. And then Pumas was set to sign Martial at the beginning. And they just came and just swept them under like the deal.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I don't know. I did I say what I have?
You said, I believe you said tie.
Yeah. I have them to tie. And also, one thing to know as well, Mexico's best goalie just retired.
Best goalie when?
Of all time.
Crazy. You think Corona's the best Mexican goalie of all time?
Yeah, name me one top club besides America that Ochoa played for.
What do you mean?
Just all like any top club.
Corona didn't play for...
Corona
didn't even play in Europe.
But he played for Chivas and Cruz Azul.
But you said top club.
What top club has Ochoa played for?
America.
And then in Europe?
He played in Spain. He didn't play for like top teams, but like he played in Europe and he played in different leagues. Corona never even went to Europe.
But Corona won a gold medal.
That's fair,
and Ochoa won a bronze medal.
A bronze medal? Did Corona ever start? When they were on the same team, who would the coaches always pick?
But I think it was that Televisa tax.
Oh, here we go.
You telling me it's not?
Nah. Well, the thing is, they're different. They're kind of different goalies, though. Ochoa's more of like that acrobatic keeper that's gonna make like crazy saves, but Corona's that more like traditional, like
a Iker Casillas.
I think Casillas was like more of a shot stopper. Corona wasn't really a shot stopper. He was more like a well positioned. He's gonna come out and like cut off crosses. But I think don't get me wrong. I think he was better than Osvaldo Sanchez.
Oh, for sure. Even the guy I have on the back of my jersey. Can you read that?
Oh.
What does that say?
Oh, Perez.
Conejo Perez was way better than Osvaldo Sanchez.
I don't know about that one.
They both got shit on by Argentina.
I don't know
in
about
World
that
Cups.
One. I don't know about Conejo.
Nah, bro, I only fuck with him because he was short. He kind of looked like my dad. And that was just like, bro, how is he saving that? How does this fool jumping from corner to corner?
I'm not even gonna lie. I was low-key hate watching him with Mexico. when he started over Ochoa in the 2010 World Cup.
That one, yeah.
Bro, I was so triggered.
Yeah.
Aguirre hates Ochoa.
Yeah, because I don't... You think he's going to the World Cup?
If he takes him, he's not going to see
He's
the
not going to
field
play,
for sure.
yeah.
I think he should take him as kind of like a locker room presence, you know, leadership. I don't think he should play, but I think he should at least take him because people always want to say, like, oh, Ochoa needs to stop going to La Selección. And I kind of get the point, but, like, outside of Malagon, who's really earned the right to, like, be in that spot? Talar Rangel. But even then, when he's played with Mexico, I'd say his performances were subpar, yeah. So it's like, you can't really knock him. If there's nobody better, you got to pick the best player available. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
it's just slim pickings for Mexico.
But you think Corona's better than Jorge Campos? He was a little before our time, but I think that's like what most people would say that's Mexico's goalkeeper.
But here's one fun stat about myself that I don't think you know. When I played goalie when I was younger, Jorge Campos was who I looked up to.
Really?
Yeah, because I would come out with like the ball.
Oh,
like I'd be that type of like goalie that like I would stop it and I'd come out with the ball, dribble to like the half, and then give it to like the forward.
Was that your first ever position?
No, it was defense, and then one time like the goalie didn't come, so then I was fuck it, I'll put on the goalie gloves.
You know what's funny? Goalie was my first ever position.
For real?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Back in the ASO days.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Pelona. But I think like my GOAT tier Mexico list is Corona, Ochoa, and then Jorge Campos.
Yeah,
just Jorge Campos is more of like a nostalgia pick for me because, like I said, like that's who I like looked up to and like envisioned myself playing as when I was younger.
Yeah,
which is like a weird.
I'm not gonna lie, he was like before my time. I don't remember seeing Jorge Campos play. I
don't remember either. Just like my dad would be like, "Oh, yeah, this is like Mexico's like best keep." And then once I saw that, like I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna play like him."
One thing I will say, that is crazy that he played as a forward sometimes too,
bro.
Like when my dad told me that, I was like, I thought he was fucking with me.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, "Oh, he used to play as a forward too," and I'm like, "Oh, like when he was younger and stuff." He was like, "No, like he would, like sometimes they would like switch him off and play as a forward." I was like, "What the heck?" So he's goated in that respect.
Yeah.
But
and like that's what I wanted to be when I would like, because sometimes they would switch me back, like if we were like down or something.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I always kind of been like that though. Tell me I'm not. Psych.
But that wraps up the week 12 or Jornada 12 Liga MX predictions.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and transition to, I think, what we're both most excited to talk about this week. Mexico U-20 recap of the group games they've played so far. 2-2 draw against Brazil.
Yep.
And then 2-2 draw against Spain.
Yes, sir. You want to go over Brazil first?
Sure.
All right. So, Mexico drew 2-2 against Brazil. Goals by Alexi Dominguez and Diego Ochoa. Gil Mora assist. Obed Vargas, his best game so far. Obviously, slim pickings with the two games that we've played. But I think Obed Vargas was very clinical in that game. Gil Mora showed levels above everybody on that field. Defense is shaky at times for Mexico. And I also don't like us playing a 3-4-3 because I don't feel like our wingers are right, like our wing backs. Like the wingers that we have aren't meant to play wing back.
Yeah. I don't even think they actually drop.
They don't, which leaves us very open. And kind of jumping ahead, that's very crucial when we're going to play Morocco on Saturday because they're very fast and they like to play outside. And we always struggle against teams that have very fast wingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take it away.
So, with the Brazil game in particular, I thought Mexico outplayed Brazil for the majority of the game. And I thought that I was very happy to see that they were able to get at least a tie. Mm-hmm. But I was very, very, I guess in a way surprised but pleasantly surprised by what I saw, because to your point about the 3-4-3, I never would have thought they would have lined up like that.
Neither did I.
But and the interesting thing to me, I still don't know how the midfield was lined up. I think it might have even been like a 3-3-1-3, because Gil Mora, I think he was playing centrally, because you would see him on the left and then you would see him on the right. So I think he was kind of given that freedom to kind of just, pretty much play where he wants, like the GOAT Cuauhtémoc used to be given that freedom. But I really want to talk about Mexico's coach, Eduardo Arce. Wasn't really familiar with him. I had to go back and see that he had a stint with Puebla.
Yeah.
But I really, really like how he has his team looking. Going back to the formation, I think they were tactically aggressive, which I liked. They came out against Brazil, and basically they said, we're going to play our style of play, and you guys are going to have to adapt to us.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the other way around.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. I know we've talked about with Mexico the fact that we don't like their possession-based soccer that they try and do. And the problem with them is that if it's not the personnel, it's the execution. With this U-20 team, they have the personnel at this level, and they actually have possession, but it leads to chances, which is what you want to see. So I was really impressed with that, the tactics of it, but also the mindset of the players. I felt like there wasn't a single bad performance from a Mexican player against Brazil. I will say I was expecting a little bit more from Montiel, but I don't think it was a bad performance.
Yeah.
But I really like how it looks like the coach instilled that confidence in the players, because it showed on the field. And it actually, the formation, the 3-4-3, it reminded me of, not saying Mexico's Barcelona, but it reminded me of when Barcelona played a 3-4-3 back in 2011-2012 season. And the reason Guardiola switched from his traditional 4-3-3 to a 3-4-3 is because he said that he felt bad leaving out either Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, or Fabregas. And I think kind of the same principle applies with the Mexico coach, is that his 4 best players might all be his central midfielders. So he put Gil Mora, Montiel, Ober Vargas, and Garza, who I wasn't familiar with his game. He's good. he I think is critical, because at times he'll tuck in and it'll switch to a back 4, like when they defend, but when they attack, he just pushes up, and they have that numerical advantage in the midfield. But yeah, I was really, really impressed with the Mexico team in both performances. But Brazil, I think Brazil especially, because jumping ahead, are we good with the Brazil game?
No, but did you hear, like, when you were saying all that, like, did you hear, like, the something on the desk?
No.
When my dick hit the desk, how horny you got me hearing you talk about that.
No, I was just so blown away. I was like, because usually most teams play like 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, or like maybe here and there, like if you see a team play 5 in the back or 3 in the back, you're like, okay, that's a little bit different. But the fact that they did 3-4-3 with basically 4 central midfielders, I was like, that's very aggressive and very risky, because as we said, the 3 up front, those wingers don't really track back. Like
they don't.
Alexei Dominguez and Diego Chicha Sanchez, who was really good as well.
Bro, he is a baller. He is one of those players that I love seeing, because he kind of reminds him and Gamberos kind of play the same similar style, where they're very, front forward, but they'll also like try to nutmeg you, do like these
like play with flair.
Yeah, they play with flair, and I love that, especially
at that position.
Yeah,
because if you're a winger and you don't want to take players on, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, and like Gamberos and Chicha, they have that space being played out wide up top. They have that space and ability to do that. The only thing that kind of sucks is we don't have a solidified striker. It seems like.
No, we don't have a goal scorer.
Exactly. Yeah.
The number 9s that came in, I like how they play, but they're not like goal scorers. Like they're not gonna bag goals.
And then this is kind of where I wish Stefan Carrillo was able to go to this World Cup because we're seeing that we're missing him right now. Stefan Carrillo was a guy that signed for Feyenoord and he's on loan right now, but he would have been at this World Cup, and you could see that that's what's lacking. And I kind of, if we were to do a 3-4-3, I'd kind of want to see Alexis Dominguez, Camberos, and then having Gil Mora be that kind of drop back 10, allowing them to kind of go forward, and then him just to get to, because you see if they were to cross the ball into Gil Mora is so clinical inside of the 18 where he'll just bag something in. He'll find a way to bag something in.
Yeah, so, the only problem is they kind of have to be. It wouldn't be like a traditional number 9 because Gil Mora, his stature, he's not going to be like heading the ball and stuff like that. It kind of has to be like from what we saw in against Spain.
Yeah,
but that would be interesting to see.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but
almost like as a false 9, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tapping into Spain's game. I mean, Gil Mora with the brace. He's made, like, if he hasn't already been known to the world, he made himself known to the world with this game. This game, Gil Mora's first goal was very similar to a goal of a link-up play against Brazil that Obed Vargas and Gil Mora had inside of the 18 where Gil Mora had a shot off. It was like a triangle play, and this first goal for Gil Mora against Spain kind of reflected that. So I like that build-up play and that triangle kind of style of, like how you said, Barca back in the day that they play. And like how you said, it's something that we're not seeing with the senior team. That's what our senior team lacks. And I think our midfield is very like for Spain, we weren't very possession heavy. We were more of kind of like a counter-attacking team. But even when we were counter-attacking with purpose, not like trying to just hold the possession and let Spain kind of sit back and regroup in the defense. As soon as we got the ball, like how we saw the second half of that Spain game, Camberos kind of when he came on, he gave Mexico a breath of fresh air, and you could kind of see that. When he went on, and I was very impressed with Camberos when he came on, and I think he should be a solidified starter moving on.
Yeah, that's one thing I noted too. I thought Camberos was really good, and it's crazy he didn't even play in the first game.
Yeah, he didn't, which would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. But just to add to your point, I agree, and the numbers reflect that Spain was more of that possession-based team, and then we ended up kind of having to be the team out in transition.
Yeah.
So Spain had a 57% possession compared to Mexico's 43%. So I did kind of like that we saw Mexico be able to handle that adjustment.
Yeah.
Because against Brazil, like we said, there was a lot of the times where Brazil was sitting in a low block.
Yeah.
And against Spain, we didn't really see that. It was like basically having a counterattack because Spain dominated possession.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that they can kind of play two different styles. But I'm also impressed with how deep the team is. I think you talked about it for the preview. But like we said, Camberos didn't play the first game, and he came in and made an impact against Spain. And Amaury Morales, too. I thought he played well as well.
I didn't see the first half of the Spain game, but with my Discord boys, they were saying he played ass.
Really?
Yeah. He did it. I wonder. I need to go back, but I wonder.
He wasn't like super impressive, but I liked what I saw for him. I thought he gave us like a different dynamic, like with his pace.
Yeah.
But as far as like going forward, I could see just Camberos.
Yeah.
Taking that spot and then leaving Alexis Dominguez on the right wing.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to talk about too is Diego Ochoa is a factor on set pieces. His goal against Brazil, and then he almost had another one against Spain. So that could be that's a good sign as well that we're a threat in set pieces. And last thing, I know I've compared this Mexico team to Barca, but I want to expand on that point even more.
All right, let's see, go for it.
Gil Mora reminds me a lot of Iniesta.
Iniesta?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard that player come.
So I'm not saying Gil Mora is as good as Iniesta or that he will be as good as Iniesta, but I think stylistically they're similar because the way they glide past players, it just when I was watching Gil Mora play, I'm like, I see a little bit of Iniesta in his game. They both can score, even though that's not what they're known for. They both have that creativity and that ability to give, assists and pass the ball. And especially because Iniesta sometimes for Barca would play on the left wing. And when the Brazil game, you saw Gil Mora drifting to the left and taking players on with his right. Like playing in that inverted winger role. So he reminds me a lot of Andres Iniesta.
He reminds me a lot of Pedri.
Really?
Yeah.
I could kind of see that too, but just like, I guess that ability to dribble the ball close to your feet and play that like silky smooth dribbling, gliding past players. Like I'm not mad at that either.
But and then also one thing I do want to note for the Spain game, that I didn't know the VAR was set up the way it is, where teams have only 2 VAR challenges.
They're bringing like NFL stuff.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. But the VAR for the handball for Mexico in the penalty box, like when it was like a PK for Mexico and we called to get it checked, the angles that they showed were so fucking trash. And then for the angles for Spain, when we fucking that stupid ass challenge, the angles that they showed to the ref was fucking ass too. So I think if they got to clean that up, the World Cup has to clean that up. FIFA got to clean that up. You guys could tap into my line, at Sports Estimators on all socials, and I'll gladly help you guys VAR people get the good angles of viewing challenges.
It's a youth tournament, so they're probably like, we're not gonna invest too many resources into this. But yeah, I did look like, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so that I feel like they got to clean that up, especially moving on to the next round and after this third game. But
it's crazy that like I consider a tie against Brazil and a tie against Spain a positive result, but it's crazy that their toughest game in the group might be this next one.
Yeah,
because Morocco beat both of them,
bro, and Morocco look fucking good, bro. Like that Morocco team kind of reminds me of PSG.
For real?
Yeah.
I actually haven't gotten a chance to check them out.
Yeah, because they're fast. Their wingers are fast. Like
do they press well?
They do press well too. And like I think that's gonna be like Mexico has to play this way they played Spain in the second half.
If they have good wingers, I don't think they can play that 3 in the back.
That's what I'm saying. Because also too, if we're gonna play that 3-4-3, and if we're gonna start Amaury Morales again on the wing, he's not a wing back. He's more of an attacking winger. Like even with Cruz Azul, when we would see him play, he's not a wing back. He's not gonna drop. He's not gonna be like Huescas, where Huescas goes all the way up. He also comes back, which rip to my boy. But I think if we want to play Morocco toe to toe and find a way to win, we probably have to switch it up to a 5-3-2 or maybe a 4-3-3.
Yeah, because I think against Brazil, they ended up going to a 4 in the back, and then that's usually when they bring in Bustos.
Which fucking Tronco, he's the one that conceded the penalty, but yeah.
But yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they play Morocco, because as hyped as we are, it's like it'll all kind of be pointless if they don't advance past the group stage.
And Morocco have already qualified to the next round as of today in the morning.
That's gonna help. That's gonna be a good thing for Mexico.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the way Morocco come out. If Morocco come out playing their bench, and if they're down 1-0, 2-0 by half, and then they put in, their starters, it'll be interesting to see. So I think that's the kind of game, and I'm hoping for that's the kind of game that we get, is where we take an early lead, we put Morocco on their back foot, and they had to play their starters. And then who knows if we draw it all. We have to fucking pray that Brazil and Spain tie. We just have to pray that. Spain or Brazil tie in, we have to get a positive result no matter what against Morocco. We have to either win or tie. But a win secures us the spot. A tie will be dependent on
what happens
with Brazil and Spain.
Yeah, because I think if Mexico ties and either Brazil or Spain wins, then whoever wins advances because then they would have 4 points.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But I feel like it felt like you put me on to like a good movie recommendation. You were the one that was, like, oh, we should talk about the U-20. I probably wouldn't have watched them, so I'm glad you suggested this because I've really enjoyed watching this team play.
Bro, like I said, I remember watching that 2005 squad of the U17 play, and this team really reminds me of that.
I see what you mean now with the fact, like, because it did remind me of, I didn't watch that 05 team, but I believe it was the Olympic team or another one of the youth championship teams where it was kind of like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then it's like, oh, this guy's good too. And then you just go down the list and everybody's is doing their thing. Yeah. But yeah, that was the recap of Mexico's U-20 games against Spain and Brazil. Let's go ahead and switch over to Champions League. I'm going to recap a couple of the games from the game week 2. Is there any particular game you want to start with?
I think we'll start off from Wednesday or Tuesday's games. Real Madrid beating Kirak 5-1. Mbappe hat-trick. Arda Güler playing amazing football.
I like his game a lot.
Yeah, and also I think Vinny needs to start no matter what in UCL games. I don't think Xabi Alonso has to bench him for any UCL game because we've seen what Vinny does when the spotlight is on him in the UCL. But yeah, it was easy pickings for Real Madrid to win 5-1.
Yeah, bounce back from that 5.
Getting fucking belt to ass from Atleti.
Speaking of Atleti, back-to-back games with 5 goals. That's super surprising considering the types of team that Cholo usually brings out. If they can, obviously this isn't sustainable, but if they can score goals anywhere near remotely as consistently as they have been, they could be a dark horse team. Yeah. Because we know they're going to be a good team defensively.
Yeah. And they started off the season in La Liga super slow. I want to say they were like bottom 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were fucking, they were down bad. But 13 goals in the last 3 games for Atleti. And Julian Alvarez came back firing in all cylinders. He bagged the brace versus Real Madrid and scored a PK versus Frankfurt.
Are you big on him?
I am.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he's like the perfect Atletico Madrid player because he's a 9, but he his work rate is crazy defensively.
Yeah.
Like he's perfect for an Atletico Madrid team.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do at the World Cup with Argentina.
Yeah.
I wonder if...
I think he's going to have to elevate his game.
Yeah.
Because those players from that team, like obviously there's going to be changes, but I feel like most of those players aren't in the same form that they were for that World Cup.
Yeah.
So they're going to need Julian Alvarez to step up.
Yeah. And he's showing that he's stepping up.
Yeah. Yeah, so he has.
That's good to see.
Let's talk about Liverpool.
Fucking A, man.
Bro, it looks like they were intimidated by the atmosphere or something.
That atmosphere was very heavy. I could feel it. I could feel it as I was watching it.
Because they just did not look like themselves at all. They didn't. And we talked about this before with Liverpool. I think they kind of have that aura or like demeanor, that mindset where maybe it's a little bit of an overconfidence where they kind of think like, oh, they can just turn it on and off whenever they want and they'll find a way to win. But we saw already early on in the season that I guess you could call it mindset. It's going to come back to bite them against certain teams if they don't make those adjustments. But we do have to note that they did not start Isak, McAllister, and Salah.
Yep.
So I think that also played a part of it too.
Yeah, and with that, I want to say Arne Slot was a little too overconfident. I don't think he knew what he was stepping into. And also, I think he's still trying.
This game?
Yeah, and I don't think he's figured out the starting lineup. To be honest, I think he's still trying to figure that out.
That's fair.
So I think he's still trying to figure out like who he's gonna start where, when, and where. Which it's good that they're kind of going through what they're going through right now. That way, Arne Slot could go ahead and clean it up and get things figured out sooner than later. But one thing too, Arsenal were 13 for 14 out of their last group game UCL games, which unfortunately they ended up losing this one. But taking it back even to Saturday when they lost to Crystal Palace, that should have kind of been the writing on the wall because Crystal Palace were 18 games unbeaten so far.
Yeah.
Which kind of impressive because Crystal Palace is a mid-table team for EPL. But, now that, and now moving forward, Galatasaray, they were playing okay in their league, in their respective league, but that atmosphere kind of reminded me of St. James Park, the Newcastle Stadium. But they were just way more intense.
Yeah.
Bro. Way more intense.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, Liverpool's gonna lose games here and there. So, we'll see, but I was surprised that it was Galatasaray that got the result on Liverpool,
And they chalked the parlay, bro. The last leg chalked.
All right, next game I want to talk about is Man City.
Okay.
See me wearing the jersey? That's my EPL team. But I have a stat for you. You probably saw it, but Haaland has more goals than games in the Champions League?
For real?
In 50 games, he scored 52 goals in the Champions League.
And he has 50 games in Champions League already?
Yeah. Because remember, he was on Dortmund, and then he was on...
RB Leipzig or whatever?
And he's only 25.
Holy fuck. Damn.
Yeah. And it got me thinking, I'm like, bro, he's going to be... There's no way he isn't top scorer for Champions League history. But then I looked it up, and Ronaldo has 140 goals in Champions League. So he basically has to triple 90, what he has already.
90 in what? Like the next 7 years? That's kind of doable.
90 Champions League goals?
Nah. Well, in this longer format, it might be a little bit more possible.
That's true.
Because you're playing more games now.
But but you have to make deep runs to be able to hit like 15, whatever it is. Games.
Nah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, oh, bro, he's going to shatter the record. And then I looked it up and I was like, nah, I think it's going to be hard. But, he's only 25. And if he stays with City or a team like City that provides him service like that, then yeah. Also, too, I think we talked about this last week, but don't sleep on City, bro. I know they tied 2-2, but they hit the post twice. Okay. They were clearly the better team. And Foden is just starting to pick up his form. I'm big on Foden. Rodri's just starting to pick up his form. So don't sleep on Manchester City. That's all I'm gonna say.
I still think they don't make it to the next round.
You don't think they make it to the next round?
Yeah, nah.
Damn.
I think if Napoli would have never got that red card super early on in the game and they had to take De Bruyne out, we would have seen a way tougher game for Man City.
But they've had also Man City's had tough opponents too. Like Monaco isn't a slouch. Napoli is a tough team too.
Yeah, but Monaco had just came from getting shitted on really bad from. Let me see, who did they get shitted on?
Yeah,
by Club Brugge, 4-1.
But the thing is, they should have. Manchester City should have won this game.
Yeah,
and Monaco still has talent on their team.
Yeah,
but next game, you want to talk a little Arsenal? There's something that I want to say about Arsenal.
All right, go ahead.
Last time we talked about Champions League, I kind of wrote them off because I don't think they have the top end talent to be a serious contender for Champions League. But I want to say they have a pretty deep roster. I think they have a lot of players that are really good. They have a couple great players. I think my concern was that they didn't have like a bunch of world-class players like some of the top teams. And I'm not saying that I think they're legit contenders, but I think that if they made a run to like maybe the semis, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think they're capable, because they don't concede a lot of goals and with the talent that they have, I think they're capable of upsetting a big team down the stretch once they get to the knockout phases.
And it seems like Arsenal's starting to find their stride within the team. Martinelli is having the best couple weeks of his life right now. He scored another goal against Olympiacos. Saka finally came back. He was able to bag one in the net. This Arsenal team hasn't lost. When's the last time they lost? It's been quite a while since they've lost. Jesus Christ. They haven't lost since, club friendlies, but yeah, they haven't lost in a while. So it's just, their style of play doesn't impress me.
Yeah, they're not very, the results are there, but the style of play isn't convincing.
Yeah.
But for Champions League, because it's a knockout format, I feel like if you defend well and you have like some talent up top, that's dangerous, because that's basically how Madrid has been able to consistently win, is they defend well and then they just counterattack. Yeah. So,
which Arsenal could do that with the type of team that they have and the way they're set up, but
that's why when I went back, I was like, again, I still don't see them as like legit contenders, but I think I undersold them a bit. Yeah.
All right, let's go over PSG beating Barca 2-1.
Oh, I conveniently forgot about that. I conveniently scrolled past that on our notes.
Bro, no Dembele, no Doué, no Kvaratskhelia.
Keep going.
No Marquinhos, no problem. PSG just know how to win, bro. Mayulu, 19 years old, shitted on Barca.
Shitted on is crazy.
Nah, he didn't shit on them. But, bro, being 19 years old and, like, UCL goal, that was impressive. Lamine had an incredible game, though. He was taking air. Did you see the play where he just took everybody on that
I was
right
so
wing?
hyped because it was, like the first minute or so in the game, I think. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. I was like, he's him. But go ahead, continue.
That's where my notes stop.
Oh, okay. I thought he kind of like, as the game went on, he kind of like took, I don't want to say took his foot off the gas, but like he wasn't like that the whole game. I felt like, but I did see that PSG was missing a lot of players, but so was Barca. Barca didn't have 6 starters in the starting lineup.
What did they have?
They didn't start Lewandowski.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
They didn't start Balde. Yep. They came on with the last 20 minutes. Rafinha didn't play at all. And there was no Araujo.
Oh.
So, because I know we talked about this game, and like I feel like it was being promoted that PSG was missing a lot of their players, which to their credit they were. But Barca was too, and nobody really mentioned that part, because Ferran started, Olmo started, Rashford started, and then I think it was like Martin and basically two of Balde and Araujo weren't starting in our back line. So throughout the whole pitch, Barca was missing starters too. And they started Chesney in goal too. So that's why I was disappointed that Barca lost, because they had a couple clear chances that if they would have put him away in that part of the game, it would have changed the game. Yeah. So I was disappointed because this wasn't PSG at their full strength, but I'm not like, I don't feel super disappointed because again they didn't have their best team out there either. Yeah,
which that betting line looked kind of insane.
That's what it was, huh? Yeah.
But
still credit to PSG though for winning, for sure. But I think one player I do want to talk about I was disappointed in was Cubarsí, because in both goals he played a factor. With the first one, he committed to a tackle. Like he risked winning the ball, and he put himself in a position that he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the PSG player just kind of took that space and was basically one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah.
When Gubarci kind of rushed that play, I think, for no reason. And then in the second goal, he pressed up all the way up to like 3/4 of the field, like to press somebody for no reason. And then when I went back and I saw it, there was miscommunication between him and Balde, because Balde moved in centrally to kind of cover the space that Gubarci left. And then that's when they had that... the player on the right side, he just received the ball and then he just crossed it and then they scored off that. But it was uncharacteristic of Gubarci. He was usually very poised and makes good decisions. Yeah. But he kind of chalked that game.
Bro, he got baited on that second goal. Nasty. I think he just got horny to get the ball, bro.
Bro, I was like, why? What are you doing? Like, but yeah.
What a week for soccer.
For sure. Huh? Is there any other games you wanted to talk about for Champions League?
One thing I did want to know, we shouted him out earlier. Prayers up. Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Rodrigo Huescas carted off in the 13th minute. It's been confirmed it's his ACL. He will miss, unfortunately, the World Cup. Which, even more unfortunate,
bro, that's another maldición.
Oh my God, bro!
Bro, we should.
Hey, we're not gonna put the Mexico clip up.
You know it's facts because Lamar Jackson was my MVP pick. Bro,
we have to be careful. I don't think we're gonna put the Mexico recap up. I'm just kidding.
Mexico is gonna
lose.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But what I was gonna say is, more unfortunate for us, we have to see Jorge Sanchez start in the World Cup.
No, say it ain't so. Bro, Araujo's a better option than Sanchez.
Araujo.
Julian Araujo?
I don't know. Julian Araujo, the only thing that I don't like is he's not confident. He still doesn't seem like he's confident to me. Like, he's not confident on the ball. With Jorge Sanchez, he'll play a little bit more confident.
He'll play confident, but he won't do anything.
yeah. Which he's like...
And that's why I think Araujo should play, because I think he's still raw. Mm-hmm. And if he just kind of, to your point, like on the ball, just kind of has that little... But even with Mexico in his last performance, remember that really good cross he had to Raul that Raul actually should have put away? Mm-hmm. So he has that potential. It's just kind of like, I guess, putting it all together. But that's why I think his ceiling is higher than Jorge Sanchez, because Jorge Sanchez, what he has is, I think he might be the best defender in that position.
Yeah.
Like, he's physical and he's fast.
Yeah.
But I think Araujo is just as fast.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they're kind of similar in that respect. But because of the higher ceiling, I would go with Araujo. But
Jorge Sanchez shows a lot of grit, but Jorge Sanchez is also like he's like a Prius painted gold.
A Prius painted gold? What do you mean?
Yeah. Because, like, he's reliable, but he just looks a lot better than what he is.
You know what you're going to get with him, for sure.
Yeah. But then he gets shitted on sometimes.
Yeah.
Nasty. Where it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I feel like sometimes he could be a little hot-headed. I don't know if you've noticed that, or maybe I'm tripping, but it just kind of seems like sometimes it's nothing crazy, he'll just like crack somebody, but I feel like you can kind of tell the frustration.
Se desespera,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, prayers up.
Get well soon.
Disappointing
for sure, because we talked about it. He was starting to really show us a lot of good stuff.
I hit him up. He just hasn't replied back. He hasn't accepted my messages.
He's like, you were like, yeah, I talked to him. Only thing is, he didn't say anything back.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, am I going to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, guys.
I meant your. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. That was another soccer recap. Touched base on Liga MX Jornada 12. Mexico's performances so far at the FIFA U-20 World Cup. as well as the Champions League Game Week 2 recap. It was a pleasure going over it with you guys. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know if we're tripping, or if there's a point that we made that you guys want to expand on, or maybe something that we missed. Like I said, we're here to share our opinions, but also want to hear your guys' feedback and grow as sports fans. So as always, thank you guys. Thanks for all the support so far, and we look forward to continue to give you guys more content.
And remember, don't quote us
Unless we're right.
Peace.